Then on January 15th, 2020, exactly 1 year after the shooting where all 6 people got shot, an actual murder occurred. So a Nissan Altima was seen fleeing the scene, and before that happened, a masked shooter jumped out and chased down Lil Buck and shot repeatedly. Now, it was later found out that Butta was the getaway driver.
Right.
Your son, Ksoo, they said was the shooter, and ATK Scottie was involved as well.
Right.
So all this happens, and you have no idea about any of it until you get a phone call that day from Crazy K.
That morning. Yes.
So describe that phone call.
Boy, this part here gonna get me in some trouble again. I was at a hotel cheating. You know what I'm saying? Fucking off. And I get a call from Crazy K. And he like, hey, man, Scottie need a ride. I'm gonna drop you his location. I say, all right, bet. So I'm trying to drop the little chick back off. She got an old man too, where she gotta be, she gotta be back in place too. I'm blaming you for this shit here when I get cussed out for this now. But so I get the location, so happened, the location about 5 or 10 minutes from me. Anyway, I take the little chick all the way back home across town, cause I don't really want Scottie to see the chick. He a little young chick, And I take her all the way across town. I drop her off, then I go all the way back to pick Scottie up. So I go back to pick Scottie up. When I ride down the street, I don't see no police. I don't see shit to think nothing, I see one police car. I mean, that's regular in Jacksonville to see a police car. I pull up to the house where Scottie at, and I call Scottie. I said, damn, where you at? I'm out here. He like, all right, I'm coming. So I'm sitting there for a minute, and I call him back. Hey, what's up, man? I'm out here. So now I do see the helicopter, the ghetto bird. So I'm like, damn. It's kind of flying kind of low. But it ain't over where I'm at. I'm in this lady yard. About fucking 15, 20 minutes, him and this fuck nigga Butta come out the house. They got on pajamas. So in my mind, I'm thinking, they done got caught over some little chick's house. Parents done came home. They hiding in there. So they jump in my car. And I back out regular. So when I'm backing out regular, we hit Arlington Expressway. That's when Scottie tell me the situation. So I'm like, oh, fuck. In my mind, I'm like, damn, I gotta get them out of this car. Cause I'm in my car. I'm in a fucking orange Challenger. I'm riding my shit. So once he tell me about this, it was an old lady in the house. They done had her held hostage in the house. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, damn. But on the strength of Crazy K, I'm going on through with the situation. So we go over to Grand Park and we switch cars. So once we switch cars, we get out this orange loud ass car, and we get in a Impala, one of my daughter's cars. And I take them out to my house, because I stayed far out, and I take them out there, and I drop them off, and I leave them. And I left. So they tell me, I took their clothes with me. So I took the clothes with me, and I took the clothes and I burnt them up. So, and that was my end of my dealings with them right there, for us that day.
Right. Because, and this all came out in court
Right.
after the Lil Buck murder occurred, and it was ultimately Ksoo, ATK Scottie, Crazy K, and Butta. Butta was the getaway driver. They split up. Ksoo went off in some unknown direction, but Scottie, K, and Butta ends up running into a white woman's house and taking her hostage.
Right.
And
And
then
matter
they
of fact,
called you.
yeah,
Go ahead.
a old white lady. That's a negative in the South. You gonna get hanged for that alone.
Right. So you go and pick up these three guys after a murder hostage situation.
Home invasion.
At that home invasion, right. At that point, did you say, look, let's just go down to the police station, turn yourselves in. I don't, it's not like you were given a choice to be in that situation. They didn't call you and say, hey, listen, we just did a home invasion hostage murder, come pick us up. They just said, come pick us up.
Right.
Did you try to say, hey, let's go turn yourselves in, it'll be better this way?
No, I wouldn't have never, I ain't gonna sit here and try to be cool. I would have never said that. I would have really hoped they got away because of the situation beforehand. Because I definitely felt some type of way about Buck. Once he made that song, dissing my son, I definitely felt some type of way about that. But I wouldn't have told them, let's go down there and turn the whole city, turn yourself in or no thing. I wouldn't have never made that suggestion.
Okay, so you pick them up, you take their clothes, you switch cars. Now, you don't see Ksoo at all that day.
No. Nope.
But that same day that the murder occurred, Ksoo made a post on social media that said, kill a N-word and get my toes done.
Right.
Which ultimately was used against him in court.
Right. Me and him got into it. We got into it about that. I'm like, man, take that shit down. Take that shit down. Ksoo felt like I was old, I was rusty, my gun hung up. I don't know what's going on, but I'm thinking in the long run, like, this shit gonna come back to bite you. This shit gonna come back to bite you. Like, Ksoo, I love Ksoo, but he ain't gonna, he not gonna listen. When it's time. They even had texts where I would text him, man, I need to get in your chest, I need to get in your Crazy K telling me, nah, he ain't gonna listen. He not gonna listen. I need to do this, I need to do that. He ain't gonna, he not gonna listen.
Well, after that whole situation occurred, you still met up and talked to Ksoo, but you guys never talked about the situation.
Nah, that ain't something that I'm not gonna sit. I know my sons not angels. That's for a fact. But I'm not gonna sit around and talk to them about no murder. I'm not gonna sit around and send them on no hit. They men. And that's what people don't understand. If you got a son and he out here toting a gun, that's a man. That's your son, but that's a man. And I'm not gonna sit around and tell them to do this here. I done seen people say, I groomed them for the streets, I did this for them. That's a goddamn lie. I don't even let them cuss in front of me. Yeah, he gonna cuss on a song because that's entertainment. That's where he gonna make his money. That's where he gonna make his revenue. But my children can't even sit in a setting with me and cuss. I don't play that. And I never groomed them. Can't nobody say I ever sent them to make a serve. Can't nobody ever say I gave them dope or nothing like that.